I'm interested in slow-moving trends. Let me give you the history of the world in 4 words. 4 words. The history of the world, ladies and gentlemen, in 4 words. Nothing, 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 and everything. And it doesn't really matter what you put in here. It could be world GDP. It was nothing, 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 and in the past 150 years, everything has happened. It could be steel production. There was no steel, nothing happened, everything has happened in the past century. It could be usage of the word future. The future was invented in 1902. Before that, there was no meaning thinking ahead, because the future would be just like the past. But in 1902, things had started to change. People started to live longer. We could do new things with technology. We lived in new ways, and the concept of the future started to become meaningful. There are only 2 kinds of change: horizontal and vertical change. Horizontal change means that we see in the world the same thing happening in more places. We see more cities building the same kind of skyscrapers. We see more and more football clubs wanting access to world-class Brazilian talent. We see more people in more places owning a smartphone. The same thing happening. And the speed of ideas is increasing. We live in 2014 in a 47-hour world. Anything can be moved from one place on this map to another within 47 hours. If it's a big shipment of steel, you usually want to slow it down for economic reasons, but theoretically you need approximately 47 hours to take it from Rio de Janeiro to Stockholm. If it comes to a futurologist, it can take a lot less. If it's an email, it's 47 milliseconds. And here is the opportunity. Because in a world where any idea can get moved in 47 hours, you don't need to come up with a new idea anymore. If you want to find a new idea in 2014, all you need to do is this. You rip off and duplicate. You simply go to California and you take back home whatever you see there. You copy, you steal, you rip off and duplicate. You don't need to take risks. You don't need to try new things. We can have capitalism without risk-taking. The only problem is that after a few years of increasing rip-off and duplication, we go from diversity to sameness. Offering the same product, the same pricing, trying to reach their customers with the same tools. So we have an increased climate of competition. More fighting it out for less. And the problem with competition can be good, but the problem is this. If you operate in a highly competitive environment, you stop thinking big ideas, you stop doing big dreams, and you start competing on small ideas, and you start relying on luck. Let's hope that the customer will choose us. And luck, as you know, is a very dangerous idea. It is the opposite of progress. But this is what we see in many businesses right now. Instead of competing on big ideas, on big dreams, what once built our civilization, we see a hope in finding that little small advantage. And we did not invent the future to describe this kind of more of the same world. The future was invented to describe vertical change. Vertical change is not rip-off and duplication. Vertical change is not the same thing. Vertical change is something that we haven't been able to do before, all of a sudden becoming a reality. We should use our brains to think bigger thoughts, longer-term thinking, and invest in magic. The magic that enables people to live longer. You know, I recently listened to Sarah Harper, a gerontologist at the University of Oxford. She says that the first person who will become 200 years old has already been born. It might in fact be one of us in this room. It's very rare to find people, to find companies that want to invest in magic, that think about magic. What can't we do? Or what are we right on the border of being able to do, but we will be able to do it. We should be able to do it in 5 or 10 years. And why is that? Why is horizontal growth easy, common, rewarding? Why is it so rare to find people and companies who want to invest in magic? In this age of uncertainty, instead of having one big plan, you should have a list of 50 dangerous things to try inside of your company. With dangerous, I'm not saying all dangerous things are clever. Some are stupid and should be avoided like the plague. But I'm promoting a mindset shift where we stop fearing failure, we start experimenting. Some failures are quick, most failures are slow. You know, nothing fails like success. Most things that are bad are ideas that were once good. Nokia was once doing very well and it made them lazy, so they went bad. Laura Ashley were doing so well that they ignored the future. You know, here's a great idea that a school in the US did to promote anti-drugs among the students. It was a pencil with the text, "Too cool to do drugs," which is a great idea until you sharpen the pencil. So what was a great idea over time turns into a very, very bad idea. And this brings me back to where I begin. The need for you and I to think long term. Ignore presidential elections, ignore current recessions, think 10, 20 years out and be patient.